Most people believe their financial struggles are the result of a low income or a volatile economy. But if we pull back the curtain on modern consumer behavior, we find a much more calculated reality. Have you ever noticed how a simple trip to a retail store for a single household item, say a light bulb or a pack of batteries, somehow mutates into a $200 excursion? You didn't enter the store needing a new set of ergonomic kitchen utensils or a high-end portable speaker. Yet, as you walked through those aisles, a psychological shift occurred. The environment was engineered to make your current possessions feel obsolete and your current life feel incomplete. This is the consumer trance, and it is the primary reason why the middle class feels like it's running in place. My name is Bob, and today we are exploring a concept I call the strategic non-consumer. We aren't talking about simple coupon cutting or skipping your morning latte. We are talking about a systemic rebellion against the 5 specific categories of spending that act as anchors on your net worth. If you're tired of seeing your hard-earned capital evaporate into thin air every month, pay close attention. By the end of this analysis, you'll understand why buying less is the most aggressive wealth-building strategy available today: the deception of small savings. Traditional financial gurus love to focus on micro-frugality. They want you to track every cent spent on a bagel. While discipline is important, this advice misses the forest for the trees. You cannot save your way to freedom by depriving yourself of $5 pleasures while simultaneously bleeding thousands of dollars into systemic traps. The problem isn't the coffee, it's the programming. We have been conditioned to believe that an upgrade is synonymous with progress. We've been told that convenience is a right, and that status is a necessity. The buy-nothing rebellion is the process of deprogramming that narrative. It's about realizing that every dollar you refuse to waste on psychological junk food is a soldier that can go to war for your financial independence. Let's dissect the 5 specific pillars of the consumer trap that you need to abandon immediately. The mobility tax, vehicle finance. The single greatest destroyer of household wealth in the modern era is the motorized depreciating asset. Currently, the average price for a new vehicle has surged past the $50,000 mark. But the price tag isn't the real trap. It's the monthly payment mindset. Dealerships are master psychologists. They don't want you to look at the $50,000 total. They want you to look at the $700 monthly installment. They frame it as a manageable utility cost, when in reality, it is a catastrophic drain on your future. If you were to take that $700 and place it into a total market index fund yielding a conservative 7 to 8% annually, over a 20-year period, you would be looking at nearly $500,000. Instead, most people choose to trade that $500,000 for the new car smell and a digital dashboard. Within 3 years, that vehicle has lost a massive chunk of its value, yet the payments remain. You are effectively paying a premium for the privilege of losing money. True wealth builders view a car as a tool to get from point A to point B. I personally prioritize mechanical reliability over aesthetic prestige. Driving a paid-off older vehicle isn't a sign of struggle, it's a sign of mathematical literacy. Until you own the title, that car is a liability that owns you. Part 4. The identity trap, status symbols. The second category of waste is what I call signal spending. This includes designer apparel, luxury watches, and trendy footwear. We live in a bizarre era where people are willing to go into high-interest credit card debt just to appear as though they have money. There is a profound difference between being rich and looking rich. Most actual millionaires, the millionaire next door types, are virtually invisible. They wear functional clothing and drive modest cars because they don't require external validation to confirm their worth. Their confidence comes from their balance sheet, not their brand labels. When you buy a $400 pair of sneakers or a $2,000 handbag, you aren't buying quality. You are buying a social signal. You are trying to communicate a status that you likely haven't earned yet. It is a hamster wheel of vanity. The moment you stop dressing for others and start investing for yourself, the financial pressure begins to lift. Status symbols don't pay dividends. They don't fund your child's education. They simply gather dust while your savings account stays stagnant. Part 5. Performative Leisure, Finance Travel. We have reached a point where travel has been rebranded as self-care. While experiencing the world is inherently valuable, the way we consume it has become toxic. I am officially swearing off any vacation that cannot be paid for in full, with cash, upfront.
If you are charging a trip to Europe or a tropical resort to a credit card with an 18% interest rate, you aren't finding yourself. You are burying yourself. The relaxation you feel on that beach is a delusion, because the moment you land back home, you are greeted by a debt hangover that will last for months, if not years. Social media has turned vacations into a performance. People are sacrificing their long-term stability for a gallery of photos intended to make their peers envious. True mental health and stress relief don't require an international flight. You can find peace in a local forest, a library, or a quiet park. If your self-care involves creating financial stress, it isn't care, it's self-sabotage. Travel should be the reward for financial success, not the cause of financial ruin. The upgrade cycle, technological obsolescence. The fourth category to eliminate is the incremental upgrade. This is most prevalent in our relationship with personal electronics. Every year, tech giants release a new version of the device you already have. Maybe the camera has a few more pixels or the screen is slightly brighter. The marketing departments for these companies spend billions of dollars to make your perfectly functional 2-year-old phone feel like an antique. This is artificial obsolescence. They want you to feel left behind if you aren't carrying the latest model. Ask yourself, does the new phone actually change the way you live? Does it make you more productive, or does it just provide a 5-minute dopamine hit when you unbox it? I have made a pact to only replace technology when it no longer functions or when my work requires a specific leap in capability. Opting out of the 2-year upgrade cycle saves you thousands of dollars and frees you from the constant anxiety of keeping up with the specs. Part 5. The frictionless tax, food delivery. This final category is the most controversial because it targets our modern addiction to convenience, food delivery apps. Unless you are physically incapacitated, paying for food delivery is a lazy tax that is quietly gutting your budget. Let's look at the raw data. When you order a $15 meal through an app, by the time you add the service fee, the delivery fee, the small order surge charge, the driver tip, and the menu price markup, that $15 meal costs you $30. You are paying a 100% premium for the privilege of not driving 5 minutes down the road. Beyond the cost, this habit represents an erosion of agency. We have become so averse to friction that we would rather lose $15 than move our bodies. This is the Amazon one-click philosophy applied to your nutrition. It turns eating into an impulsive, expensive, and often unhealthy habit. When you cook at home or even just pick up your own food, you are reclaiming control over your impulses. If you claim you can't afford to invest, but you have delivery apps on your home screen, you don't have a money problem. You have a priority problem: the withdrawal and the rewiring. When you commit to the Buy Nothing rebellion, you will experience a period of withdrawal. Consumption is an addiction. Our brains have been wired to crave the dopamine spike of a new purchase. For the first 30 days, you might feel a sense of missing out. You'll see the ads, you'll see the upgrades your friends are making, and you'll feel a twinge of inadequacy. But by the second month, the fog begins to clear. You start to realize how much mental energy was being wasted on wanting things. When you aren't constantly browsing for the next purchase, you have space to think, to create, and to build. By month 3, you develop consumer immunity. You look at a flashy car or a designer watch and you don't see status. You see a bill. You see the hours of someone's life that were traded away to sustain an illusion. You begin to value time sovereignty over material possession. The ultimate dividend. The goal of this rebellion isn't to see who can be the most miserable, it's to see who can be the most free. When you eliminate these 5 categories, your burn rate drops significantly. This creates a margin of safety. Financial freedom isn't about having $1 billion. It's about the gap between what you earn and what you spend. By narrowing your spending to what is essential and meaningful, you widen that gap. This is the money that allows you to leave a toxic job, to start a business, or to retire a decade earlier than your peers. Every time you say no to a pointless upgrade or a financed luxury, you are saying yes to your future self. You are choosing the peace of an empty credit card statement over the clutter of a full closet. Conclusion. The companies that profit from your insecurity want you to keep clicking buy. They need you to stay on the treadmill. But the moment you decide that you have enough, their power over you vanishes. Start today. Pick one of these 5 categories. Maybe it's the food delivery or the status shopping, and cut it out entirely for 90 days. Watch your bank balance grow, but more importantly, watch your stress levels drop. Wealth is what you don't see. It's the money not spent, the car is not financed, and the freedom not traded for junk. If you're ready to join the rebellion and take back control of your financial destiny, hit the like button and subscribe. We're going to keep diving deep into the strategies that actually move the needle. Your future is worth more than anything you can buy in a store. Thanks for watching.